Hi, this is Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, here to fix you and help you grow your property and your business affairs to the next level. So if you're looking for knowledge and insights about how to get involved in property, solve your problems about scalability in your property business, then do watch our 20-minute clips. We've taken them from hundreds and, well, thousands of videos that we've taken over the last 6 months, and we've broken them into simple chunks which can make them useful for you. So do watch and do subscribe to our YouTube channel underneath as well.
You can't see any dust anywhere. You can't see any clothes lying around. But in reality, human existence still needs some form of interaction. It can't just be a big system that drives. That's probably about another 2-3 levels up. At this level that we're at the moment, we're shifting from 3G to 4G. So in terms of the connectivity of the world going into a 2-dimensional connectivity. So you can buy online. Yeah?
We're going into 5G.
Yeah, I think 5G hasn't actually become a sort of like a common thing. I think what they've done is the infrastructure for 5G is what they're setting up, which they have set up. I think a lot of the things that we're feeling around us, things are happening, a shift in mood, a shift in energy, a shift in climate, all that is coming from the fact that the 5G infrastructure is probably switched on. But remember, our utensils, our equipment is still somewhat, sort of like 3G stroke 4G. We haven't got to the interactivity that 5G offers. We're just at 3 and 4. And 3 is probably where we're really at. If you look at the bulk of people, everybody is at 3G. Everyone's using handheld devices, Androids, using sort of like video calling, and we're using, live Zoom and this live stream and XYZ. But it's not really complete and interactive properly yet. I think getting the infrastructure in is the first thing, having the capacity. I think the devices will come afterwards. But when we're talking about practical life and living, I think we're still in that main shift, as was when Lakhi was young in the Industrial Revolution, when we first started realizing there was coal around and that it could be used to drive manufacturing. And I think Lakhi could probably give us more of an insight of what happened during your time in the Industrial Revolution. Or was it like this? Was it the same type of drastic shift from mechanical driven machines, steam engines, and where you were on a court? Because I can imagine Lakhi was probably trotting around on a donkey or something, because they wouldn't give him a horse. What is that? Probably a mule. Yeah, Lakhi, is it the same thing that's happening now that happened in the early 1900s?
Yeah, I think everything just comes down to change. I think we went on to from one type of, let's say from land into more of a industrial revolution, and then from industrial revolution we moved on to a service-led industry. So I think now we're moving from probably having a major shift from a face-to-face physical retail type experience to an online experience. So I think this is probably the next revolution, really. So I think even I know VJ is trying to make a joke, which they rarely succeed, but I think it's a good one actually. But on a more serious note, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, and it is actually a serious joke. What I'm trying to get from you is when you were around in the early 90s, Did you feel that this was happening then? And you were probably thinking, what's all these steam engines about? What's all this coal black thing about? It's a bit like, what's all this 3G, 4G thing about? Because if you really look at it, we're not really exploiting 3G or 4G to its maximum opta. It's really just the fact that 3 and 4G is around for telecommunication. We're not really using it to its full optimization. So getting the 5G in is merely getting the infrastructure in. We're not really there. We're not really totally on the grid. What has happened is that obviously being locked in has allowed the governmental departments to monitor everyone. So monitor behavior, monitor your mobile phone to see, are you sitting at home? Have you left the house? You can't be walking because a person can't walk 35 miles an hour, so you must be out in your car. So things like that. I think that's probably the way government and departments are probably using this time to monitor how to keep a tab on people, how to check on people, what type of laws have we been. Because remember, the laws haven't really been changed yet. The laws to back up lockdown aren't really enforced, are they? They're just guidelines. What about when the guidelines take a new turn and it becomes law? What do you think is going to happen then, Mandy?
Oh, we will be tracked 24/7, definitely. All our movements, our messages, our emails, they're all going to be tracked. It's probably already happening, personally, I think. You don't know because they're not transparent with the information that they provide, and which they should be in this day and age. But what can you do?
Yeah, because obviously they've got reasons. These reasons are the war on terror and things like that. So they're saying we can't tell you, it's a security breach. Lakhi, what do you think is going to happen? Are you going to go underground and become like a mutant ninja turd and start life underground in the sewers?
That would be ideal, actually. At least relax and nothing to worry about. Because shit does happen, doesn't it?
Shit does happen. That's right, shit does happen. But I can't imagine myself fighting with a rat for sleeping space. I'm not going to be doing that. Mandy, what do you think? Do you think we're going to go underground, the real minions of us, people who are still out of the grid? We're going to go underground and live in some rat-infested sewer, become a mutant ninja turd? What do you reckon?
It's possible. Anything is possible at the minute. But certain people will want to go underground because they don't want to be on the grid. So, which is understandable. But it doesn't matter if you've got something to hide or you have. But people will.
Do they? You just want to be. I don't want to. I don't want someone tracking me when I go to the toilet to work out what it was that I ate last night. I don't want to do that for. So, Lakhi Singh, can you imagine standing in a drain pipe and getting flushed with local, all the muck that comes out of the local toilets? Would you have to buy an umbrella? You have to buy like a big umbrella to keep you protected.
He's got all serious now that you've said that.
Is it the thought of being showered? Is that what's giving you that feeling of being serious? Are you trying to imagine how big the umbrella's got to be?
Yeah, sounds quite exciting actually. Because shit does happen.
Shit does happen. Like I said, I can't imagine myself fighting with
it's
a
like
sewer rat.
Mud runner, isn't
it?
This could be a new version of the mud runner.
The mud runner, yes. Mud runner or more no, just like I said, the mutant ninja, the mutant ninja turd thing. You could be one of those turds wearing those ninja masks You
No,
could
but
be walking around. Pardon?
it can be sensei instead of one of the turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of the turtles, you could be what could you be?
I think I've lost track of this conversation, but it's about something really exciting about data-driven strategies.
Mandy's taking over. She's taking over the show with the wild, wacky ideas. Mandy, don't do that. Don't. You're going to keep focused. We're going to keep
By the way,
focused.
we've got some comments here because VJ Sal's not got access to all the comments today. So
What are the comments?
So basically, a couple of important announcements, by the way. This is only going out on YouTube, so if anybody, John Smith or Meena Kapoor are around, or Noman is around, it's quite easy to share this video from YouTube onto all the live streams so everybody can see it. Mandy can probably share it to all the groups.
Oh, I've already shared it.
Okay, great. So
I think it's already been done. So we have short-circuited the system. We are already against the machines. Lakhi Singh, you are like a human mutant ninja turd, come like the Terminator, or rather the Turbinator. The Turbinator meets the mutant ninja turd. You've short-circuited the system. Well done. That's your first attack against the machines.
So that's announcement number one. Somebody's also saying in the YouTube, they're saying, wow, both looking dapper, Lakhi Singh and VJ Sal.
Yeah,
I don't know about VJ Sal looking dapper, he just looks a bit puffy to me.
Talking of all that shit, it probably means diaper, not dapper. We're both looking like diapers, living underground. We need to come back on the ground and come back into the real world. Right, coming back to the real world.
I think there's also a couple of other comments. It says, VJ, where's your kissy stick? I'm wondering to see that. So I think somebody's actually making profanities like yourself. I think it must be. You sure you haven't put these comments in yourself?
No, I haven't done them myself. But MBDO, I'm going to hopefully this next week, I'm going to have the Kissy 6 design, and we're going to test the first prototype on, and like normal, like all prototypes, all new technology, we will test them out on animals. And if they work well, we will then put them onto humans. But I will have the Kissy 6 designed in this week. We've already given the money to the manufacturers. They are, as we speak, chopping, cutting, gluing. So hopefully by next weekend, I will have the first prototype of the Kissy stick, and we will start manufacturing and taking orders from the following week onwards. Right, so coming back onto the planet, we come out of the gutter, wrestled back our pillow from the local rat, and we come back onto the high street. What do you think? Which type of business, what other business do you think is going to go out of business? It's not going to be around. We're not saying the business won't be there. They're just going to have to do business in another way, and they won't be on the high street anymore. We won't see it anymore.
You're talking to me or to Mandy?
I'm talking to, I'll go to Mandy because you're already out of the zone. You're still in the, you're echoing, you're still in the gutter, you have to come out. Mandy, what do you think? What else? Do you think food and beverage will stay on the high street?
Half of them will, and half will disappear. The smaller corner shops, definitely I can see disappearing, but the larger...
Yes, please, Mr. Patel shop, that's going to go, is it?
Oh no, maybe not Mr. Patel, but the other corner shops, there's smaller local ones like here, there's wherever there's a co-op that pops up, if there's a small local business around them, that seems to go out of business and disappear. That's what I've noticed a lot in Manchester. because they.
Hasn't that gone full circle though, Mandy? Hasn't it been that even the co-op now sometimes can't provide that personal service? And I don't mean a holistic massages. I mean like a personal service that a local shopkeeper does when you go in. Yes, please, jolly good, Mr. Khan, what you want? We can get it for you. Anything, quick fix. So I mean, that's the co-op can't do that, can they?
No. And plus,
BJ Sarah reminds me of Mr. Khan from what's that
Mr.
TV
Khan,
program?
yeah.
oh,
Mr. Khan
goodness
is
gracious me.
no, because
Mr. Khan.
that one.
Oh, it was Mr. Khan, on BBC One.
You look like him as well. Just need a little funny hat, mate.
Yeah, he
That's
just
the guy,
did that famous little thing.
Yeah. I mean, the point is that personal service co-op can't provide. Okay, it's a big multiple. We know that. It's not really a big multiple. It's like a middle multiple. But surely, I mean, it's a bit vague when you say when the short. Well, okay, food and beverages will stay because people always want to go somewhere and pick up something. Can't always be ordering online, or can you? Online ordering becomes so efficient that you go click and they're knock on the door. Do you reckon that's how efficient it's going to become?
Hopefully it will, because there's not enough slots for people at the moment with the 3 lockdowns that we've had. And there's vulnerable people still being missed, and they need to lower their minimum spend, because not everybody can spend that much on their shopping. Like myself, I'm a single person. I don't go shopping on a big budget, so every week. So on that sense, it would help me if I didn't have to go shopping each week in that sense. But hopefully they will get their act together, and it'll be more regimen and more on time, and they'll be more efficient. Definitely, hopefully.
It's really efficient. I mean, I can imagine. Do you think Lakhi Singh, the local gentlemen's club, will operate that way? Click on the door. Would you reckon that will work?
I have no idea. I couldn't comment on that one.
Lakhi Singh, what do you think? What do you have on the door? Door service.
He's disappeared.
Is he gone? Is it overwhelmed? I think he's fallen down one of the gutter. He forgot to put the top of the gutter hole. He's back in the gutter and he's got his mask on and he's fighting some local rats with his ninja sword. Okay, we'll come back to Mandy. Right, do you think it's going to work then, Mandy? Do you think it's going to have on the door? What do you reckon?
It could go either way on that one.
Either way. Okay. I mean, look, my understanding is if the high street becomes too expensive for anybody to stay, because that's what they will do if they keep the rates there and the business rates and all that, they're going to make it impossible for a high street to function. But it doesn't mean local shops won't function, like local shops, you know, those type of shops which are in residential areas. You know, the corner shop that's around the corner in a little spot where there's no high street and there's no secondary high street, but it's convenient for you to go out and buy a bottle of milk. I think they will survive. What do you reckon? They'll start becoming busy. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, definitely. Hopefully, touch wood, they will stay around, because that's the community relies on that. So if they disappear, people are going to have to travel a lot further just for their everyday amenities. So hopefully,
my picture is my prediction, you can put it, or my sort of concept of what's going to happen is online ordering is going to become so multifaceted, so efficient that you're going to have. I mean, they've started using drones to deliver and all that, and that's all well and good. It's like testing technology. But I think it's going to be like that. I think it's really going to become super efficient where you could have your clothes, your food, your, any shopping